Hello, we got good news for you today. A couple of weeks ago, the province of Ontario began to allow places of worship to reopen. Although the ability to reopen is wonderful, there are some limitations, so we want to walk you through them and walk through some of the dates that you want to mark on your calendar. We're going to resume services on a week-by-week basis beginning August 9th. Our services will be in the evening at 6:30, and it'll be at a different location. In order to facilitate this, a couple weeks before that, on July 26th, we're going to have an open house at our new facility that we're using temporarily. And so if you want to mark that date, 6:30 that evening, or we may move it back to 6 o'clock, just have an open house. Come let you see the facility and get a little familiarity with what we're going to be doing. We're going to be reopening with the goal in mind of keeping everyone healthy and safe. The community college, or Sanford Fleming College, where we meet and hope to meet again, is for the foreseeable future not opening to outside renters. We have been in discussion with them, probably in the stages of reopening. Opening up to outside renters will be kind of the last step. And so we are looking at a delay of possibly months before we do that. So we needed to find a location that was a little more comfortable for us, and I have many friends in the community who are pastors, and we wanted to be somewhere close by our present facility. And we managed to land a place that is quite literally a couple hundred yards from where we meet right now, Christian Victory Church. It's located at 520 Brayley Drive. It is quite literally on the corner of Brayley and the Sir Sanford Fleming Highway there. And it's easy to find. It's presently where we park our trailer. The pastor, Mark Murak, and the church were very gracious to open it up to us and allow us to use. They're allowing us to store a bit of stuff on site just to make things easier. And with our trailer being right there, we'll have access to most of our equipment. They are also specially preparing the facility with COVID in mind. And so they're taking out extra seating. So there'll be, when you go into the auditorium, you'll be able to seat in places without worrying about social distancing. And they've also streamlined and simplified things. They've got plastic over the tables, so we'll be able to do cleaning very easy and things like that. In this interim, you folks have been wonderful. I want to thank some of our staff and our MAT team. They've been in touch with me all the way through this and have been doing things. I want to thank John Plumley. He's been putting the songs up for you, and hope you're enjoying the online worship. I want to thank Selena. She's just behind the scenes, and she's doing a lot of administration things. She's really keeping the machinery going. Cindy Babcock has been an absolute rock for us through this, as we've worked with our staff and worked with the government and as far as applying for grants and things. And then our ministry admin team have been awesome. Paul McGregor, Karen Behrens, and Kyle Martin. We've met a number of times, and they're helping us as we reformat things and plan for the future. I want to thank you as well. You've been faithful to watch the messages online, and thank you for your graciousness in that. I know they're not like being there in person, but you've all faithfully watched them. You've invited your friends to watch them, and you've been giving while the church has been online. Thank you for that. You have really kept our church going, and we want to thank you in every way. Our church families remain strong through this, and I couldn't be more proud. And thank you for the way that you have interacted with us. Thank you for keeping in touch. Thank you for your prayers and support. I don't know about you, but I'll never again take meeting together for granted. And like myself, you probably have taken this opportunity to recalibrate a little bit. Maybe looking at relationships and where they are, maybe being stuck at home with each other. You've learned new things about yourself and them, and maybe you've had a chance to think. And part of my thought process has been realizing again, as God has reminded me many times, that seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness is our first priority. And so going forward as your pastor, that will be my priority in your lives as well. So as we kind of enter this next phase, I'm just going to ask you to be patient with us, be flexible, and probably the primary thing that's going to be essential through this is that you put others before yourself. And by that, what I mean is we have some people who are probably more susceptible or more vulnerable to the virus than some of us who perhaps aren't. And I think we're going to err on the side of caution this way. The government has asked us to, and I think it's right. I think it's right that we take care of each other. And so I'm just going to walk you through some things here and we'll give you a little idea about what we're doing. First of all, with the facility we're in, I don't know if some of you may remember the old Calvary building. This is where we're going to be meeting. The auditorium's quite large, and so we quite literally could have everybody come and still have lots of room in there for everybody. So that's good. So we'll be able to offer one service. And we're going to keep running online services because I know some people at risk maybe aren't ready to venture out, and that's okay. And so we want to provide something for them. One thing we can't offer during this time, well, there's a couple things we can't offer. One is we'll have to be very careful about how we approach the idea of singing. The government, our denomination, has recommended no singing. I actually had kind of a funny conversation with someone from the ministry, the government talking about, well, maybe you can get people to hum, which I thought was kind of funny. But anyways, we'll be looking for other ways to worship, but we'll be providing worship. We're just going to probably not be encouraging people to sing. We also won't have kids ministry. And I know, two things. One, being an evening service, and two, not having a kids program is going to limit some of you. And I want to apologize for that. But at the same time, the direction from the government is not to offer those kinds of ministries just because you'll have kids interacting. It's kind of hard to keep kids away from each other. And so we will encourage you to bring your children with you, or perhaps have one of you, if you're a married couple or somebody, take care of the kids and the other come, and then the other watch it online, and then maybe switch back and forth until we can get our kids program up and going. If you bring your kids to church and they're in the auditorium and they're having a tough time, don't worry, we're going to plan for that. I'm going to make the services very quick and upbeat. And you have a little one acting out, that's okay. Just take them out to the lobby and, settle them down. We will all accommodate that. That's fine. We don't want you to feel like you can't come because you have a little one with you or someone with you. So we're going to try our best to keep them amused as well. The services will be running from 6:30 to approximately 7:30. That'll give everybody a chance to go home afterwards, well in time to put the kids to bed. Again, I said we'll launch on August 19th, but a couple weeks before that, on the 26th, we want to show you the facility. It also give us a chance for our staff and our mat team to get in and set up and do some planning about what signs we need and things like that. Should we find, God willing, that we have too many people, we'll probably throw in a second service there sometime, but let's just plan on the one for now. When you get at the facility, park your car. There's a lot of construction going on around the building, so the parking lot might move each week, and so just be ready for that. But park your car, and then you'll come down to the main entrance, which is under the pavilion there. And what we'll try to do is use a right-hand door for entrance and a left-hand door for exit. We'll ask that you please bring a mask and wear it. Should you not have a mask, we'll have some spares that we can loan people or give out to people. But if you have access to a mask, it'll be a really big deal for us. If you just think of these three things: wear a mask, keep your hands clean, and socially distance, and we'll all be fine. And when we come in the auditorium, what we'll do is a seat from the front to the back. And so we encourage you, when we bring in you, we'll bring you right to the front. I know some of you have your favorite seats and probably place, I know some people like to sit at the back and things like that, but it's a big room. So let's move everybody forward, and that way we can have people with as little contact as possible when they're coming and leaving the building. When we exit, what we'll do is exit people to the back first. And like I said, you're probably going to want to talk and interact with your friends. We'll try to discourage that as much as possible, but if you are talking to someone, just keep the social distance, keep your mask on, and make sure your hands are clean. It's an opportunity for us maybe to try sitting somewhere else and maybe try interacting with air hugs or something. There'll be going to be safety measures in place. These are recommended by the province of Ontario. And we're not doing this because we're afraid, but we're doing it to protect the most vulnerable among us and prevent transmission of the disease. So here's what we're looking at. The first, as I mentioned before, wear a mask. And we understand that little ones and some people with health conditions that prevent it can't wear masks. That's fine. We also ask that if you are experiencing any of the symptoms that are associated with COVID-19, if you have a higher temperature, cough, or sore throat, or shortness of breath, we encourage you to stay tested and stay home. I know you'll feel awful if an outbreak happened because of yourself. So if you are feeling any of those symptoms, we've told our staff and our volunteers, if you're sick, don't come. Also, we're going to be taking time before and after to sanitize the facility, the tables, the seats, the bathroom, and then we'll clean them all afterwards. We're going to have hand sanitizing stations set up throughout the building. The most important ones are going to be when you arrive and when you leave. And so make sure to use a hand sanitizer when you're coming and going. And we encourage you to use it throughout the service, regularly. Just keep your hands clean. We bought lots of stuff. Okay. We're going to be also wiping down the restrooms and things just for your use. We're not going to be distributing any paper envelopes or forms for obvious reasons, but we're going to set up an area in the lobby for the offering if you want to donate there. We'll help you with the filling in of things, and we'll have envelopes there and things like that. One of the ways that a lot of you are giving, which we encourage you to continue to use, are e-transfers. They're just wonderful. Checks are okay too. We prefer not to take cash. Apparently it's a real thing that can carry, but we will. If you do, we'll just get you to seal in an envelope. We'll set it aside for a week or two, just allow any germs to die, and then process it then. Again, thank you for that. You can use Canada Helps as well online. Our greeters and staff, we're going to be wearing masks and gloves when we're treating things. And so just remember, we're not going to be shaking your hand, high-fiving you, or body slamming or hugging or anything. I encourage you to use air hugs, waving, and big smiles. Attendance is going to be taken in the unfortunate event that there is a health break in our community. These records, we're going to keep them. We'll seal them for about a year and then dispose of them. They are required by the ministry just so that we know who's there. Just in case we have an outbreak, then we know who to contact and things. Listen, if you're at high risk because of underlying health conditions or your age or things, feel free to stay home and watch us online. Well, I'd love to see you in person. I want to make sure that you stay healthy, and I love you for that reason as well. But if you do want to come, we just ask that you be safe, and that we'll take care to keep you as safe as we can. There's a lot of people who have varying views of what we should or shouldn't do about COVID. Listen, whether you stay home or you come or you interact with us online or you do in person, we just want to let you know, whatever choice you make, it doesn't make you more godly or more committed or more brave or anything like that. It doesn't make you smarter or more caring to stay home. We've all done a good job of accommodating each other and looking out for each other through this time. And so just allow others to express their faith as they feel comfortable. And let's keep that attitude of love and concern. Also, too, don't put us in a position where we're going to be running around trying to separate people. We just encourage you, if you maintain social distancing, you're talking a little bit, but the building will be for coming in and out. We don't want to pause a lot of times in there, and we know the parking lot people can bunch up and things like that. Just please respect our wishes and make sure you stay apart. I know this all seems limiting, inconvenient, frustrating, and that's because it is. But listen, we get to meet again. We get to worship the Lord again. We get to see each other again. And I can't wait to worship with you guys. And so as we do this moving forward, if you have any questions, let us know. Plan to come to the open house so we can show you the facility. And I just can't wait to worship with you again. Take care. God bless.